What's up, Brady?
What's up?
Not much. In the past seasons, yeah, this team always talked about brotherhood and how tight this team is off the field. What are you guys doing now to make sure that you have that same brotherhood and camaraderie to have that chemistry in the locker room that carry over on the field?
I mean, obviously, within regulations and being safe, you're hanging around the guys around the facility, and during before and after practice, and in the dining hall when we're eating lunch. So you still get plenty of time to interact with your teammates and hang out. And there's also not much kind of going on outside of these walls because of COVID. So there's not a bunch of social things that are even taking place or that you should even be going to. So we get to, hang out with each other. And also, even when we go away from this building, a lot of these guys are roommates and live together. A lot of guys are near each other, can hang out. Or you also just connect via, technology, whether that's, like obviously school started, but like you do have time to play some video games, and a lot of guys are on there, and that's a way to, as silly as it sounds, that's a way to spend time and bond with guys. So we're being smart and making sure we're being healthy, but at the same time, there's still plenty of opportunity to connect. And what's awesome is we return a lot of guys from last year's team, not just juniors going to be seniors, but guys that are a part of the team and got to be in that group and see the way that team was, and the camaraderie and the bond, and help bring along the younger guys and continue to build on that.
Steven Johnson.
Hey, how's it going, Brady?
Good. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Speaking of those younger guys, your young receivers, specifically Taj Washington, what have you kind of seen from those young guys, and just how are they coming along in terms of like competing for some of that playing time this fall?
Yeah, they're doing a great job. I mean, everyone's got to keep improving, myself included, but they've done a really good job at just taking that next step and really pushing themselves and pushing the rest of the group to step up into a more prominent role. They're really smart guys, so I know they're studying their playbook and they're getting it down, and I'm working with them on things to make sure they know like how I like little details and routes and what I'm looking at, so that it could kind of make sense to them. And I believe that helps them, when they're running the play and having like kind of my perspective on things. But they're doing a really good job, doing a lot of good things on the field. And I believe that, we're going to have a handful of those guys be big, contributors for us this season and step up into a more important role.
Evan Barnes.
Brady, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Family good?
Yes, sir. I appreciate you asking.
Good. Last week when you guys scrimmaged at the Liberty Bowl, there were no crowd noise, no music going in there. What was that like? And is that kind of, how does that kind of preparing you for what to expect this season, where that might be a similar atmosphere?
Yeah, I mean, you're used to that in fall camp, because you're used to going and scrimmaging in the Liberty Bowl and doing practices, and it just takes on a more meaningful experience, I think, because like this literally could be how a handful, if not all, of the games are. It could be this empty and this quiet, and we might have some fans in games, but we might go travel somewhere and they don't allow any fans. So it's just I think it helps put things into perspective, and it's a point in time where you have to realize this could be how it is. So like it's just another point in pointing out that this is real, and it's a good good thing to get experience and to see how it feels, and because it is going to be different. But we preach focusing on our job and not worrying about outside stuff. So while we hope there's as many fans as possible, at the end of the day, it's about playing the game on the field, and whoever's sitting in the stands, we would like to have people in our families, but at the end of the day, we're going to play ball.
Kirby Davis.
You say?
Eric, do you have a question? Or that was
Okay,
it?
yeah. Hey, Brady, I know you're very accustomed to this offense. How much freedom do you have during the game to run a play that you may see, or you pretty much go off script during the game time?
I would say I have a lot of freedom. Now it's not like it's not to a point where it's bad. It's not like I can just go do whatever I want. But that's why I take pride in preparation, and because we're gonna go into a week already having certain things that we're looking for and that I'm studying and looking at, where we will talk with the coaching staff and myself on what the best kind of adjustment would be off script. So we'll go into a week knowing, hey, if we get this kind of look, this would be a great play to go to. So it's kind of off script, but also it's kind of like we're kind of prepping for it. But then there also are a handful of things where the coaches allow me, like, hey, if you see this, or you get out there and you understand that this is a dead play, or they are in a really good look to kind of stop what we got going, this thing, go run it, operate the offense, and just understand how much time's on the clock. And that's where I can kind of go truly off script and do whatever I please. And that's where the knowledge of this offense helps a lot, because I understand what it will attack defenses effectively.
Evan Burns.
Going back to my last question, Brady, is it weird not having? I mean, I know you said you guys are focused on the game and what's on the field.
Yeah.
But how different is it just without having that noise? Because obviously, when we're at practice, there's music going. You guys have that energy going. But like, how different is it just without that outside noise, kind of like adding to the background of what's going on?
No, I think the biggest difference is like the energy and the kind of like the vibe of it. Because you hear players talk about when they're out there, sometimes they can't even like hear crowd noise. Now you go to like a loud spot, it makes a difference. But like I can recall times when I'm out there and you just don't hear, like, you're really zoned in. But it definitely is going to make a difference to, you're not running out the Tiger Head with fire going and having 60,000 fans roaring and feeling that energy, getting that excitement. Like, you're gonna have to create your own energy, and you're gonna have to just be very, very tight with your unit, and you're gonna have to respond to both things. You're gonna have to respond to success. It's not gonna be a big, loud crowd cheering for you and everyone's hyped up. You're gonna have to create that own positive energy, and then when bad stuff happens, the pros is, if you're at an away game, you're not gonna be having to deal with all that stuff. You can kind of focus more on bouncing back. But when you're at home, you're not going to have, the home crowd behind you. So there'll be a little getting used to, I think. I think there are going to be some differences, but for myself, I believe in what I kind of told you earlier. As long as you're locked in, it may suck. Some guys may not enjoy playing without fans, but at the end of the day, we get to play football. We're one of the few, teams across the country that gets this opportunity. It's a blessing, and we're going to make the most of it.